Imagine a person standing at the edge of life with dreams inside but chains around the mind, unable to move forward because of invisible walls created by doubt and limitation. Most people live this way, trapped not by the world around them, but by the prison of their own thoughts. They speak of wanting success, freedom, and abundance, yet their daily actions reveal hesitation, fear, and uncertainty. This is not because life refuses to offer opportunities, but because the mind itself refuses to recognize them. The journey to wealth, achievement, and fulfillment does not begin with money, connections, or luck. It begins with thought. The difference between living in scarcity and stepping into prosperity lies in reshaping the mind into a tool of clarity and faith. The first step is learning the power of having a clear purpose. A poor mindset wanders without direction, waiting for life to hand out miracles, and when those miracles do not arrive, it settles for less than it deserves. But a mind that has been trained to know what it wants can move mountains. Definiteness of purpose is like a compass in a storm. While others drift aimlessly, the one with purpose marches forward with certainty. Think of those who achieve greatness in any field. They did not stumble into success by accident. They saw in their imagination a destination so clearly that it became more real than the obstacles in front of them. That vision gave them strength to rise early, to endure hardships, to keep walking when others turned back. When you have a definite purpose, the universe begins to rearrange itself in your favor. People, resources, and ideas appear at the right time, as though the world itself is conspiring to help you. Without purpose, even if opportunities come, you cannot recognize them because your mind is too clouded with doubt and distraction. This is why so many live and die without realizing their full potential, not because they lack talent, but because they lacked a clear, burning desire. A clear purpose lifts you above hesitation. It demands action, and action demands growth. It transforms vague wishes into a mission that refuses to be ignored. But purpose alone is not enough. You must combine it with faith and abundance, a belief so strong that it overrides fear. Poverty begins in the mind long before it appears in life. The one who constantly says, "I cannot afford it, I am unlucky, life is unfair," is carving the shape of their future with words of defeat. Every thought plants a seed, and a poor mindset plants weeds of scarcity. Yet those who rise above mediocrity do something different. They convince themselves that opportunities are limitless. They know that wealth, success, and progress are not scarce treasures hidden from the majority, but rewards waiting for those who dare to claim them. Faith in abundance is not blind hope. It is an inner conviction that the world is overflowing with chances to succeed. It is the belief that there are countless ways to create, serve, and build a life of freedom. This faith turns obstacles into stepping stones. Where one person sees a closed door, another with abundance thinking sees 10 windows opening. History is full of stories of men and women who began with nothing but belief. They were ridiculed, doubted, and told that their dreams were impossible. Yet their faith in abundance refused to accept limits, and eventually the world bent to their vision. The poor mindset waits for proof before believing. It says, "Show me success, then I will have faith." But the prosperous mindset understands that belief must come first. Faith creates action, and action brings results. If you doubt, you delay. If you believe, you begin. This is why faith is more than just optimism. It is the fuel that ignites purpose. Without it, even the clearest purpose fades into frustration. With it, even the smallest idea can grow into greatness. Think of the mind as a magnet. If it is filled with fear and scarcity, it pulls toward itself more reasons to fear and more evidence of lack. If it is filled with faith and abundance, it draws toward itself opportunities, ideas, and resources that multiply wealth. People are not limited by the economy, their background, or their education. They are limited by the thoughts they repeat every day. A shift in thought creates a shift in life. The combination of clear purpose and unshakable faith is what separates those who merely survive from those who thrive. One without the other is incomplete. A purpose without faith crumbles under the weight of doubt. Faith without purpose drifts without direction. Together, they form the foundation of a mindset that refuses to accept poverty as destiny. Ask yourself, what do you want so clearly that it burns within you? Do you believe there is enough abundance in this world to achieve it? If your answer is vague, then your mind is still tied to the habits of poverty. But if your answer is clear and your belief unshakable, then you have already stepped onto the path of prosperity. The poor mindset must be replaced, not with empty hope, but with a fierce vision of purpose and the faith that abundance is real and accessible. Life bends for the determined and the faithful. The person who walks with purpose is never truly poor because they carry within them a wealth of direction. The one who lives with faith in abundance is never truly empty because they attract to themselves the richness of possibilities. When these two forces live in your mind, poverty has no space to remain. Picture yourself in a room full of voices, each one whispering ideas, advice, doubts, and encouragement. Alone, your own voice can only go so far. But when you align yourself with others who share your drive and vision, your strength multiplies. This is the seek. Bread of progress. No one rises to greatness in isolation. The poor mindset clings to jealousy, isolation, and the illusion of self-sufficiency. It refuses to learn from others, refuses to share, refuses to connect. And in doing so, it cuts itself off from one of the most powerful sources of wealth, the collective mind. True transformation begins when you understand the principle of surrounding yourself with people who elevate you. Your environment shapes your thinking more than you realize. If you spend your days with those who complain, who blame the world, who see scarcity everywhere, soon their thoughts become your thoughts. But if you place yourself among visionaries, builders, and dreamers, their energy seeps into your spirit and fuels your ambition. The poor mindset does not protect itself from negative company. It tolerates gossip, cynicism, and excuses, not realizing these are poisons that drain the will to succeed. A mind that wants to grow must choose its company with precision. Just as iron sharpens iron, great minds sharpen each other. When you surround yourself with people who believe in you and share your ambition, something extraordinary happens. You gain access to perspectives, experiences, and knowledge you could never gather alone. One person may have financial wisdom, another may have creativity, another may have connections, and together they form a force larger than any single individual. This shared energy becomes a mastermind, an invisible current that carries every member further than they could ever travel by themselves. This is how empires are built. Not by a lone individual fighting against the world, but by groups of minds bound together by a common goal. But choosing the right circle is not enough. You must also learn to give as much as you receive. A poor mindset enters relationships asking, "What can I take?" A wealthy mindset enters asking, "What can I contribute?" By adding value to others, you strengthen the bond, and in return, you draw value back into your own life. This is the law of exchange. You cannot receive without giving. Think of how progress happens in every field. The general thinker says, "I know how business works." The specialist says, "I know exactly how to solve this problem in marketing or technology or health." The world pays the specialists because they do not offer vague ideas. They offer precise solutions. This is the foundation of confidence, authority, and wealth. A person with specialized knowledge is never truly poor because they hold within them a resource that can be exchanged for opportunity again and again. But specialized knowledge alone is not enough. It must be applied. There are those who study endlessly, who fill their minds with theories and concepts, yet their lives do not change because they never take action. A poor mindset hides behind excuses like, "I am not ready yet, I need to learn more." But the wealthy mindset understands that knowledge must meet execution. The moment you apply what you know, even imperfectly, you gain results, feedback, and growth. This process of applying, adjusting, and improving transforms knowledge into power. Look at those who have risen from nothing to greatness. Their stories often reveal the same pattern. They chose a clear purpose, surrounded themselves with others who strengthened them, and then focused on learning something deeply. They did not try to master everything at once. They mastered one skill, one craft, one field, and from there, they built an empire. Specialized knowledge gave them confidence, confidence gave them influence, and influence gave them wealth. The tragedy of the poor mindset is that it avoids depth. It seeks shortcuts, hoping to bypass the effort required to truly understand something. It wants instant results, not realizing that real power comes from patient mastery. But those who commit to learning deeply, who immerse themselves in a chosen field, become indispensable. And once you are indispensable, abundance naturally follows. So ask yourself, who are the people you allow to influence your mind daily? Do they lift you higher, or do they weigh you down with fear and excuses? And what knowledge have you chosen to master? Have you spread yourself thin, or are you cultivating a skill so precise and valuable that the world cannot overlook you? The path away from poverty is not a mystery. It is the deliberate choice to align your mind with others who share your vision and to dedicate yourself to mastering knowledge that has real-world application. When you do this, the chains of scarcity fall away. You realize that wealth is not about luck or privilege. It is about the deliberate shaping of the mind, the company you keep, and the depth of knowledge you cultivate. The poor mindset waits for opportunity to knock. The prosperous mindset creates opportunity by uniting with others and offering specialized solutions. Once you adopt this way of thinking, you stop seeing limits and start seeing endless possibilities. Poverty cannot survive in a mind that is sharpened by great company and enriched with applied knowledge. There comes a moment in life when the difference between those who rise and those who remain stuck is revealed in how they use the power of imagination. Many live in the dull prison of what is, chained to their current circumstances, repeating the same routines, never daring to ask what could be. The poor mindset treats imagination as a toy, something for children, or as daydreams with no value. It dismisses creative thought as unrealistic, a waste of time. But those who break free from mediocrity understand that imagination is not play. It is the blueprint of the future. Every invention, every business, every great achievement that exists today was once nothing more than an image in someone's mind. Applied imagination is the art of using your creative power with direction. It is not about random fantasies or idle dreaming. It is about constructing solutions, innovations, and possibilities that can be turned into reality. The poor mindset believes the future is fixed, that success belongs only to those born into privilege. But imagination unlocks the truth. The future is created, not inherited. A single idea applied with persistence can open doors no background, no wealth, no connections could ever buy. Think of how many ordinary people have transformed the world because they dared to imagine something different. They saw problems where others saw walls, and instead of accepting limits, they asked, "What if?" That simple question is the seed of imagination. The rich mindset knows that imagination is a tool to shape reality. It looks at obstacles and searches for creative ways around them. Where the poor mindset says there is no way, imagination whispers, there must be another way. But imagination must be applied. Many people dream but never act, and so their dreams evaporate into regret. The key is to turn imagination into action, to test ideas, to risk failure, and to keep adjusting until what was once only a picture in the mind stands solid in the world. The poor mindset fears ridicule, thinking, "What will others say if I fail?" But the successful thinker knows that every bold step forward looks foolish to those who cannot see beyond their own limitations. Greatness belongs to the ones who dare to appear foolish long enough to prove their vision right. Once imagination has drawn the map, action is the only way forward. This is where decisiveness enters the picture. A poor mindset hesitates endlessly. It overthinks, analyzes until paralyzed, and convinces itself that waiting is safer than moving. But waiting is the silent thief of life. Every day spent and hesitation is a day of lost opportunity. Wealthy thinking is built on the ability to decide quickly and act boldly even if the decision is imperfect. Decisiveness is not recklessness. It is the courage to choose a direction and commit to it. A poor mindset constantly delays, saying, "I'll start tomorrow, I need more time, I'm not ready." But tomorrow becomes next week, next month, next year, until life passes without progress. Decisiveness says, "I will act now and I will learn along the way." It understands that clarity does not come before action. Clarity comes through action. Think of the difference between standing at the edge of a river, afraid to step in, versus plunging forward. The hesitant one remains dry, safe, but unmoved. The decisive one may stumble, may get wet, but eventually reaches the other side. Life rewards movement, not waiting. Action is the bridge between imagination and reality. Without it, even the most brilliant ideas remain nothing more than dreams. This is why the most successful people often appear fearless. They are not free of doubt. They simply refuse to let doubt hold them prisoner. They decide, they act, and they adapt. The poor mindset wants guarantees before moving, but guarantees do not exist. The world is shaped by those who dare to act without them. Each decision becomes a lesson. Each lesson brings growth, and growth brings success. Action also builds momentum. A small step taken today creates energy for a bigger step tomorrow. Once you move, opportunities begin to appear. Contacts, resources, ideas that never would have revealed themselves if you had stayed still. The poor mindset does not understand this law of momentum. It waits for the perfect moment, not realizing that perfection only comes after motion begins. So the path forward is clear. Use imagination not as an escape, but as a tool. Let it show you what is possible, then act decisively to bring that vision to life. Refuse to hesitate. Refuse to wait endlessly for certainty. Understand that hesitation keeps you chained to poverty.